In the heart of the rebellion's downfall, the ringleaders staggered forward with their wrists bound, their once fiery resolve now reduced to smoldering ash. These were men who had gambled everything on their dream of an uprising, only to find themselves now staring their fate in the eye. As they were led to the site of their execution, they strained to identify the instruments of their demise. Perhaps a gallows or a stark line of rifles. What met their gaze instead were cannons, with soldiers diligently loading gunpowder with expert precision, as though bracing for battle. The sudden shift from confusion to terror was palpable when they realized that the execution was not to be carried out by firing at them, but by firing them. Throughout history, governments have executed extreme measures meant to both punish and deter dissidents among the populace. Some methods, such as the guillotine, were designed for speed and feigned humanity, while others, like drawing and quartering, purposefully prolonged agony. One execution method merged spectacular theatrics with instantaneous obliteration, blowing from a gun. This method was brutally simple. Tie the condemned to the muzzle of a loaded cannon, then fire. It needed no elaborate apparatus, just one artillery piece, some rope, gunpowder, and a chilling message that resonated loud and far beyond. The grisly practice perhaps started with the Portuguese in the early 1500s to enforce rule over their African and South American colonies. It rose to notoriety in the Mughal Empire, where it was used extensively during its reign across the Indian subcontinent until the mid-1800s. Here, rebel commanders, insurrectionists, and defiant subjects alike found themselves targets of this fearsome punishment. Neighboring powers concocted variations of their own, with regions such as Mysore and Maratha tying the condemned to artillery rockets, which led to horrific deaths as the prisoners were burned and obliterated mid-flight. Upon the British expansion into India and Central Asia, the East India Company, faced with immense territories and limited enforcement, adopted this practice especially after the Sepoy Rebellion. Accounts suggest rebels reciprocated, subjecting captured British to the same explosive fate. In regions like Afghanistan, the method gained fervent use. There, it was not limited to military crimes, but extended to common criminals seen as threats to the ruler, showcasing the monarch's wrath and reinforcing the thin veneer of centralized control through harsh deterrence. While the basic concept of the execution remained consistent over time, its specifics varied. Most commonly, a blank charge was used, leveraging the sheer explosive force for execution. Yet, mishaps with forgotten grape shot left unintended casualties among onlookers. The condemned remained served as grim shrapnel, another layer of deterrence. No specific cannon was required. Accounts speak of light field guns to immense siege weapons used for these deadly spectacles. Formidable execution witnesses documented the chaos vividly. When the gun fires, the head shoots upward 40 or 50 feet, arms flung wide, one remarked. Predators quickly cleaned the fields thereafter, circling vultures picking remnants mid-flight, while stray dogs scavenged whatever fell to the earth. Of the executions, not all proceeded flawlessly. Sometimes bindings would slacken just before firing, sparing no dignity in the bungled end that would follow with a rifle shot. Still, the forcible penalty extended beyond mere death, serving as a dispiriting deterrent meticulously crafted to psychologically scar and wreck societal resistance. As British influence embraced more civilized methods by the late 1800s, cannon executions waned elsewhere, yet lingered in less moderated regions. The last documented account flowed from 1930 Kabul, where 11 rebels met the cannon barrel's thunderous end. Recent unverified North Korean accounts allege a modern semblance, though vastly divergent from historical practices. While reports exist, the world today perceives such tactics as relics of an unenlightened past, clinging to the hope that they've long since bombarded into oblivion, and the whispers now are mere echoes.